All right. Here with Washington State women's basketball head coach Kamie Ethridge. Coach, your team picks up a 69-63 victory over Portland. You erase a 19-point deficit to collect the largest comeback win in school history. Just opening comments, and then we'll open the floor for questions.
Yeah, just really thrilled for our team to find a way to win this game. I don't think we were very good. Obviously, for an entire half, we weren't very good. Just struggled coming out of the gate against their matchup zone. It took well over probably 12 or 13 minutes. And then I thought we had great energy that came off the bench, and Grace Sarver again and AT again. And I think Yo got to the rim against that zone. They just we started attacking it a little bit better and treating it more like, I just thought our guards were real stood up and afraid to attack and penetrate. And when they did a better job of that, at least it gave us some hope going into halftime. And I think when you combine that with Ula's three-quarter court shot or half court shot, it really, you go into halftime and you feel a little bit of hope and a little bit better about yourself. And with that being said, you're down 10 or 11, I think. And then we just had a great third quarter that we had the momentum for the most part and just had to scrap it out and really play well in the second half. And I thought we really did that.
It kind of seemed like the tide changed in the game towards the end of the second quarter, right before the halftime buzzer went off, when Ula hit that shot about 5 to 6 feet from behind the half court shot. How big was that moment for you guys going into the locker room, and how big of a factor did that play in you guys coming out of the third quarter on fire?
Yeah, I mean, I really think there was about 3 minutes prior to that. That's when we got some layups at the rim. Obviously it went from 19 to 11 at halftime. And I think Ula's three was the cherry on top right there. But I think getting back in that game and getting that 19-point margin down to 11 at half was huge. And you don't expect it to come from a three-quarter court shot or half court shot. But again, good court awareness, good savvy player that made sure she got it off. And the basketball gods let us have that basket. And then we had the ball coming out of halftime and put on a really good third quarter, 23-13 against that team, and took the lead, I think, or almost tied it close to, and then the game was on. And I thought we managed the game really well in the fourth quarter as well.
Charlie Sledger-Walker had to play a lot of the first half in foul trouble. She picked up 3 quick fouls. She was able to finish out the game, only had 4, ends up leading the team and scoring with 15 points. Just how big of that is for her to come in here and have to know that she's in foul trouble and to have to kind of take a step back a little bit, but for her to still be effective? How big is that for her confidence moving forward to sit there and not foul out in a situation like that?
Well, unfortunately, I feel like she's in foul trouble almost every game. So we need to start being upset with her for that. It was a tough game. I mean, she's having a matchup with the great player in Alex Fowler some, and, it's going to happen. She's just in too many plays for her not to get into some foul trouble. She's unbelievably great at playing with fouls, and I do trust her and wouldn't have had trouble putting her back in if I needed to in the first half. It's just, we actually played our guard game got going a little bit. We just didn't, not that it's Charlize's fault. We just attacked their zone and she was in when we weren't doing very good. So I think the good news for us is we brought some different people off the bench. We were able to sit her. Different people really helped us in that period. And I thought, I think we can take that as a win-win. Charlize, yes, she can come back and play with 3 fouls and not have a problem and still make it through the entire game. That's a win that I feel like every single time I expect her to be able to do that. And it's also a win knowing that, yeah, we can take her out of the game and we won't collapse. And the team really held its own and actually got us back into a better position. So it's a good situation for us to be in to get both sides of that.
Last couple of questions here come from Jamie Vanek from CougFan.com. He sends them in. He wants to know, how critical was AT in this game?
Yeah, AT just, again, keeps getting better and better. I can't help it. I'm critical of every turnover she has. I thought she got a little bit soft on the press, but again, we haven't seen a press like that. We haven't seen, she hadn't been under that much duress. You know, they morphed their press, and sometimes it was easy to bring it up, and then sometimes they doubled. And, you know, she's not perfect yet, but boy, she's a competitor, and she plays big in big moments, and she's not afraid to be in those moments. And she's kind of got all phases of that game. I mean, we worked long and hard trying to find players that are real comfortable in a high post or mid post area against a zone, because it just takes a real calming. Can you do that? Can you catch in traffic and not be affected and make little turnaround shots? And AT has that calmness to her, and that play in her game, and that confidence, and she can make plays out of that position. And she did it tonight. And she's got, you know, there's just not very many things that you just go, no, we don't want her in there for that reason. She can guard. You know, I don't think her rebounding was as good tonight, but again, she's a freshman and only getting better. But, you know, again, have total confidence in her being in the game, and knowing that she'll help us get into stuff and make us run good offense and play good D.